He's top 5 in the league.
No
Easy.
question.
Top 3. This is not going to work without AD. No disrespect to Bron, no disrespect to Russ. They're going to be who they are.
Right.
Like, Bron is going to continue to be great. Russ is going to have a much, much better season. But AD, having AD available, it's going to be invaluable. And he's the centerpiece to that championship table that we're trying to build.
Okay, so I don't think it's a particularly hot take to say that Anthony Davis, the Lakers go as Anthony Davis goes. Yes, LeBron James needs to be exceptional, but we've seen LeBron James be exceptional and still they fall short of their goals versus when he was in the conversation for should it be LeBron or should it be AD for finals MVP, they win a championship. So, Perk, let's start with you here. Anthony Davis, is he a top 3 player when he's healthy?
Absolutely. Absolutely he is. We all can agree that Anthony Davis is a top 5 talent right now. And healthy, look, Anthony Davis healthy. I actually have Anthony Davis picked as my MVP winner for next season.
Wow.
Early prediction. I think Anthony Davis is going to come back with something to prove. Anthony Davis has been waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning, getting in workouts, going 3-a-days. Anthony Davis looks in phenomenal shape. Anthony Davis has been hearing all the noise, all the chatter. Just remember, 2 years ago, we were actually having a conversation about who would we rather, Giannis Antetokounmpo or Anthony Davis. That's how elite Anthony Davis was on both ends of the floor. So when I think about Anthony Davis, in my opinion, one of the most skilled big man to ever play the game of basketball. It's nothing that he doesn't have in his arsenal offensively on the offensive end. So when I look at Anthony Davis and I look at a Darvin Ham, a coach that's going to put a key in his back, I look at Rasheed Wallace being over there as an assistant coach, I got Anthony Davis motivated and I got Anthony Davis winning the MVP next season.
Wow.
Well,
okay.
It certainly is possible if he's healthy. We know what he could do when he's healthy. We were in the bubble. We saw him win a championship.
Yep.
I see him as top 10. Giannis, Steph, LeBron, Durant, respectfully to AD, I see him in the top 10. But one thing that Darvin Ham said to me about AD, he said, we ain't ish without him. And the Lakers showed you that last year. I don't think it's talked about enough, and Dave knows this. He played 40 games. If he played 70, this ain't the coaching staff might still be there. There's a lot we could be talking about differently about the Lakers. Maybe they could have been potential champs or done much more, but they are as he goes.
Yeah, I mean, they are as he goes doesn't seem to be a particularly hot take when you look at those numbers that are right there. 2018, by the way, Perk, Anthony Davis, he finished 3rd in MVP voting. I'm not saying he couldn't be the MVP. When I'm thinking of Giannis, when I'm thinking of Luka, when I'm thinking of Joel, there might be a couple of people that maybe I would expect before him to be playing for that. But if they can get an MVP version of Anthony Davis, that's going to be special for the Lakers. Dave, you cover this team day in and day out. Expectations for Anthony Davis.
Well, Malika, I spoke to a member of the Lakers organization when I was on the road covering the playoffs, and we were looking back at the wreckage of the season that was. And the point that member of the Lakers told me, we didn't see dominant AD all but maybe 10 games all season long. The Lakers felt like when he came back from that initial injury against Brooklyn, he had about a 10-game stretch before he got injured again against the Utah Jazz when he came down on Rudy Gobert's size 20 sneaker. And that's the only glimpse they saw of Anthony Davis being the guy that they think can be similar to what Perk's talking about, being an MVP candidate. They need way more of that this season. And Darvin makes a great point here. If they don't have that, it doesn't matter if LeBron's scoring 30 a game. If they don't have that, it doesn't matter if Russell Westbrook curtails his turnovers and shoots better from the outside and doesn't die on screens on the defensive end. Anthony Davis will be the sun and the moons for them, or he will be the comet that crashes into and puts them into oblivion.
Well, at least we have better
descriptions today. Go ahead, Dave.
All right. Well, before we wrap up our Lakers conversation, I want to go to our Lithuanian correspondent, Jonas Valanciunas. He's playing a game of charades here. Just enjoy this.
Nu tas, kaip tas. Čia gali būti bet kas. Ne, tas kur tas.
Jonas, I wouldn't do that if I were you. I wish I knew what they were saying. I wish I spoke better Lithuanian because
That sign language is pretty clear.
But maybe there's something that we're missing. I'm just saying. I'm not sure, Perk. I would have done that if I was him. I appreciated it though.
One. Let me say this. It wasn't funny at all. Like, it didn't make me chuckle. It didn't make me giggle inside. It didn't make my tummy jiggle. Okay, it was not funny. Second of all,
that made me giggle.
Second of all, why would you want to poke the bear and bothering a guy like LeBron James? This is what I'm saying. Like, again, I'm going to repeat. This guy, LeBron James, averaged 30 last season. He averaged 30. He's got a more consistent jumper. He's added more to his game. He's gotten wiser with age. He's understanding. He's mastered the game. Why would you want to poke the bear? You might have to see LeBron James in the Western Conference come playoff time. You do play for the New Orleans Pelicans. And I don't get this notion about LeBron James crying, LeBron James doing all this. LeBron James don't do nothing else, nothing less than what other players around the league do when they go up to officials and want calls. So I don't get all that. But the first thing it was that was not funny at all.
It didn't even make your tummy jiggle or you giggle or whatever else you said. Well, speaking of poking the bear, still to come on
Sharpshooter to the roster as they desperately need extra shooting. Vincent would also get a chance to play an expanded role in Washington. Wizards receive Jared Vanderbilt. Jazz receive Rui Hachimura, 2026 second-round pick. This is by far the simplest of all the trades listed here, but it would accomplish a goal for each team involved. Both squads are reshaping their rosters, and this deal would move the needle in their respective directions. Starting off with the Jazz, this deal sees them land a potential filled forward heading into the final year of his contract. Hachimura has shown flashes of stardom, but just hasn't put it all together yet. In Utah, where the team looks to be headed for a massive rebuild, he would get plenty of developmental minutes that he wouldn't be able to play in Washington, as the Wizards will be looking to compete for the playoffs. Meanwhile, the Wizards would be getting an elite role player who showed a ton of promise last season. Vanderbilt was crucial to the Minnesota Timberwolves' success and would play a similar role in Washington. Vanderbilt fits in better with what the Wizards are doing. His hustle play and solid all-around defense would pair beautifully with Kristaps Porzingis in the frontcourt. While Hachimura is the better offensive player and may even have the higher ceiling, Vanderbilt is the better fit for this current Wizards core because of the defense he brings. Plus, he's under contract for 2 years on a team-friendly deal. Wizards receive Seth Curry, T.J. Warren. Nets receive Rui Hachimura, Corey Kispert, 2025 first-round pick, lottery protected. This trade would not be able to happen until a few days into October because the Nets just signed Warren, but after that time, or even a few weeks into the season, this could be a good deal for both teams. If the Nets trade Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, then they